It was June 25, 1975. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi made a shocking announcement.
The President has proclaimed emergency. This is nothing to panic about.
This was not just any announcement, it was a decision that could change the lives of millions of people. During the emergency, the government took on the special powers. This means the government could do anything and people can't even question about it. It was like pressing the pause button on the democracy. But what was the real reason behind this emergency? Let's unmask it. Namaste and welcome to Satyameva Jayate, Unmasking the Truth. While the official reason for the declaration of emergency was to deal with the internal threats, but many people believe that the real reason was to keep Indira Gandhi in the power. Just before the emergency, a court had ruled her for the unfair election. This threatened her position as a prime minister. So instead of stepping down, she used the emergency to hold on to her power. So what exactly happened during emergency? The government led by Indira Gandhi gained extraordinary powers. Imagine a world where you couldn't speak your mind freely, where the newspaper couldn't publish anything critical on the government. That's what it was like. The civil liberties were restricted, people lost their right to free speech, and the press was heavily censored. And it didn't stop there. Thousands of opposition leaders and activists were arrested. Anyone seen as a threat to Indira Gandhi power were thrown into jail even without a trial. This wasn't just about the politics. This created a sense of fear throughout the country. People were even scared to talk about the government. One of the most troubling actions during the emergency was the forced sterilization campaign. The government wanted to control the population, so they started to force men to get sterilized. In many cases, these men were forced to undergo surgeries. This created the anger and resentment among the people, especially the poor ones. Along with this, there were large-scale demolitions of the slums in the cities like Delhi. The government wanted to make the city look more modern and neater, so they tore down the homes of thousands of poor families. These families were left with nowhere to go, adding to the misery. So, why did this emergency happen in the first place? After the death of Lal Bahadur Shastri in 1966, Indira Gandhi served as the Prime Minister until India held the next election. In 1967, Indira Gandhi won this election by becoming the first ever female Prime Minister of India. Now, let's go back to the events that led up to the emergency. Indira Gandhi was already facing a lot of challenges as a Prime Minister. The economy was struggling and there were protests against the government. The things took turn for worse when a politician named Rajanarayan, who had run against her in an election and lost, accused her of cheating in that election. The case went to the court and the Justice Jagmohan Sinha from Allahabad High Court had to decide. After reviewing the evidence, the judge decided that the Indira Gandhi is guilty of election malpractice. This was a major setback for her reputation and power. She appealed the decision again, but she lost. This left her in a very tough situation. Around the same time, Jayaprakash Narayan was organizing a large protest against the government. People were unhappy and the pressure on Indira Gandhi kept growing. Faced with all these challenges, she decided to declare the emergency. According to her biography, this was one of the most difficult and insecure period in her life. She believed that by declaring the emergency, she could maintain and control her position as a Prime Minister. The declaration of emergency had a huge impact on the country. One of the first things were the arrest of 11,000 people, including the prominent leaders like L.K. Advani, Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Jayaprakash Narayan. These people were seen as a threat to Indira Gandhi's power and they were thrown into jail even without a chance to defend themselves. They couldn't even apply for bail. This means they were stuck in jail until the government decided to release them. But it wasn't just the political leaders who suffered. Even the ordinary people felt the same impact. With the suspension of the fundamental rights, the government could almost do anything and you can't even offend it. If the government want to seize your land or demolish your house or even get you sterilized, there's nothing that you could do. After nearly 2 years of emergency, the situation began to change. By the early 1977, the pressure on Indira Gandhi was too much to bear. The people were unhappy with the way they had been treated and the opposition was getting stronger. In January 1977, Indira Gandhi surprised everyone by announcing that there would be a general election in March. When the elections were held, people finally had their say. They voted against Indira Gandhi and her party in a very big way. She lost horribly. The Janata Party won and Morarji Desai became the Prime Minister. This was the first time a government other than Congress Party came into the power. The emergency ended on March 21, 1977, but the impact felt for a longer time. The emergency is remembered as one of the darkest chapters in Indian political history. It's because it showed us that what could happen if one person holds too much of power. During the emergency, the citizens couldn't speak freely, the press was controlled, and the opposition leaders were arrested. The emergency taught us a hard lesson. Democracy can be fragile if not protected. For more such interesting content, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. If you like this video, do like, share and comment. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep watching. Satyameva Jayate.